Dream of one day living purely off of passive dividend income? How about safe, growing passive dividend income? Would you like to know about stocks that are now paying out even bigger dividends than before? Then you have to check out today's video.
He is a best-selling author.
30-year-old Jason Fieber has a plan.
This guy retired at only 33 years old.
I don't know if I know too many people that have accomplished something like that.
He's really kind of a guru when it comes to passive income.
Before I get into today's content, please give us a big thumbs up if you find value in our videos. Helps us get the word out and grow the channel, and I'd really appreciate it. I've been a dividend growth investor for 11 years. In a world where people's opinions on things change like the wind, I've been faithful to one investment strategy for more than a decade. It's actually been easy to be this faithful. Why? Because the strategy has been so faithful to me. My dividend growth stock portfolio faithfully produces dividend income that is incredibly reliable. Through thick and thin, the companies I'm invested in come through and pay those dividends on schedule. I literally wake up to fresh money I didn't go to sleep with. Dividend growth investing is a strategy that pays me to be loyal to it, but it gets better. This strategy isn't just faithful, it's also increasingly rewarding. High quality dividend growth stocks are regularly increasing their dividends to their shareholders. That's the growth in dividend growth investing. After all, passive income is great, but it isn't so great if it isn't at least keeping up with inflation. The costs of life are rising, and you want to make sure that your passive income can at least keep up with or even exceed those rising costs. I want to tell you about 3 high quality dividend growth stocks that just increased their dividends. They're faithfully rewarding their loyal, long-term shareholders with more money. Ready? Let's dig in. The first dividend increase I want to tell you about came courtesy of Chevron Corporation, stock ticker CVX. Chevron just increased their dividend by 3.9%. While that exceeds inflation, it's also not a massive raise. However, it doesn't need to be huge when you consider the fact that the stock yields 5.1% here. It's a compelling combination of both income and growth, and this is one of the most reliable dividends in all of energy. The oil and gas supermajor has increased its dividend for 34 consecutive years. Again, faithfulness. Longtime Chevron shareholders have been rewarded with higher dividends year in and year out, like clockwork, for more than 3 straight decades. This recent increase wasn't quite as high as what you might expect when you compare it to the 10-year dividend growth rate of 6.2%, but this is a very challenging time for energy. But even during the toughest of times, Chevron faithfully comes through. There is light at the end of this tunnel. The pandemic will end and demand for hydrocarbons will rise. And with the stock's current yield being well above its 5-year average of 4.3%, there could be an opportunity here. The second dividend increase came from Apple Inc., stock ticker AAPL. Apple increased its dividend by 7.3%. An apple a day is supposed to keep the doctor away. Well, an apple in your stock portfolio keeps the unwanted job away because this stock is minting millionaires and paying out one of the safest growing dividends you'll find. This is the 10th consecutive year in which the tech company has increased its dividend. With the company printing money almost like the US Treasury, we can count on plenty more dividend increases for years to come. In fact, we were so sure this dividend increase was coming that we put out a video in mid-March telling you that Apple was a lock for a dividend increase in the late April to early May timeframe. I've said it before, I'll say it again. This is a must-own stock for serious long-term dividend growth investors. While this 7.3% dividend increase was slightly below my expectations, as well as a bit lower than their 5-year dividend growth rate of 9.7%, I'm not one to ever complain about getting paid more money for doing nothing other than holding shares. Apple isn't super cheap with a price-to-earnings ratio of near 30, but this is the kind of high-quality stock worth paying up for. Last but not least, let's talk about the dividend increase that came from Brunswick Corporation, stock ticker BC. Brunswick just gave their shareholders a massive pay raise via their 24.1% dividend increase. When's the last time your boss gave you a 24% pay raise? How about that kind of pay raise for doing nothing Well, that's what Brunswick shareholders can lay claim to. Do nothing other than hold stock, get a 24% increase in pay. That's a pretty good deal. This is the 9th consecutive year of dividend increases for the boat manufacturer. Even after the big dividend boost, the payout ratio is only 28.6%. And with the dividend growth acceleration, we can see here off of the 5-year dividend growth rate of 13.5%. Shareholders have a lot to look forward to. The big problem for investors who want to buy in now is that the stock has gone on a huge run. It's up 45% this year alone, and one does wonder how sustainable some of the recent gains in the business are. However, this company was raising its dividend long before the pandemic gave them new boating customers, and it's highly likely that they'll continue to raise the dividend long after things normalize. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Give us a like if you did, and let us know in the comments what you think about these dividend increases. Please make sure to subscribe to the channel and ring that notification bell so that you don't miss out on new content. Also, take a look at the description box below for some important links, including the link to my personal stock portfolio. This 6-figure portfolio, which I call the Fire Fund, generates enough passive dividend income for me to live off of. It allowed me to retire in my early 30s. I've made my portfolio entirely accessible over a Patreon, and I also post alerts there whenever I buy or sell a stock. I put my money where my mouth is, and I'm often invested in the same high-quality dividend growth stocks that I make videos on. Over the years, I've heard from thousands of investors who have been profiting from many of the same exact stocks that I own. So if you think this is something that you could benefit from as well, check the link in the description to see my portfolio and start getting my buy and sell alerts. I'll see you next time.